coverage you can count on. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 6.
Kind of helpless.
Fires continue to burn, but evacuations have been lifted in some panhandle counties tonight, with many residents returning to scorched earth. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
You heard him say kind of helpless. That says it all. Devastation across the panhandle tonight as 5 wildfires continue to burn through almost 1 million acres.
Our KCBD teams are in the area tonight as the situation rapidly develops. Brittany Crittenden and Joshua Ramirez join us live from some of the hardest hit communities.
Let's go first to Joshua in the community of Fritch, where more than 100 homes are now nothing but ashes. Joshua?
Yeah, Karen and Abner, and we've been out here in Fritch for a few hours now, and I can tell you, as we were driving into town, we were greeted with clouds of smoke, plumes of smoke off in the distance that we could see from these fires. And here in the town, a lot of roads still blocked off, evacuation orders still in effect right now. And our first stop, actually, when we got into town, was at the Fritch Independent School District, where Atmos has actually set up a command center, because right now, all the gas in the city, or in a large part of the city, is still down, the water is still out, the electricity is still out. So right now they are working to get those utilities back up. And I can tell you, as Karen said just a bit ago, we are hearing that it could be up to 100 structures burned in this fire. I last checked, the A&M Forest Service was reporting that there could be, or that there is more than 90,000 acres burned by the Windy Deuce fire, which is the closest fire to Fritch right now. So 90,000 acres burned, only 25% contained. But I want to talk more about the human element of this. I spoke with a resident earlier today who said that they lost everything in this fire.
You're just kind of helpless. You know, we're just trying to gather stuff up, figure out what things need to be canceled, and what, you know, basically what we might want to do to restart.
And that is just one resident of many who are going through that same situation right now. And here in town, some of the local churches have opened their doors. They're housing some of those people who have been displaced by these fires. And a little bit down the way in Borger, the Red Cross has set up shop there. They're also housing people at the Borger Dome and asking for donations of food, water, snacks, first aid supplies, pet supplies, anything that these families may need over these next few days. And I also want to just take a second to talk about our crews who are out here. We're all wearing these masks because as I was talking about that smoke earlier, it is still thick in the air right now. You can smell it, you can taste it, it's in your eyes, it stings. And this is something that these first responders from all over the state of Texas who have responded to these blazes are dealing with this. So I just want to take a second to talk about how intense that is and kind of that aspect of fighting these fires, as well as our crews being out here to cover this and bring you all the latest news. So we are going to continue following the developments out here in Fritch. For now, though, I'll go ahead and send it back to y'all. Karen and Abner.
So many heartbreaking stories there. Thank you, Joshua.
And I think we're about to hear some more, because now we take a look northeast of there in Canadian, where Brittany joins us with the situation there. Brittany?
Hey, Karen and Abner, yeah, it's just devastating out here. We're southeast of Canadian, but before we get to this damage here, we do want to talk about some new news that we've just discovered, that we've just learned, that the Smokehouse Creek fire that started in Hutchinson County and spread here to Canadian, we now know that there was one fatality caused by this fire in Hutchinson County, that coming from a neighborhood in Stinnett. So we do want to send our condolences to that family there. Like I said, that fire began there and then spread all the way across 2 counties to get here to Canadian. We're on the outskirts of town where you can see firsthand the damage. The Hemphill County Judge Lisa Johnson, we spoke with her earlier, and she says she believes there are 30 structures, 30 homes that have been destroyed because of this fire. There are still hot spots north and south of town, but now we're getting a closer look at the impact of this. This home here, AgriLife Extension agent Andy Holloway, he brought us here, and these are some of his dear friends who lived here. This was once Connie and Benny Ruprecht's home. They've been here 30 years. They raised a family here. Holloway says they've seen fires here in this area before, but none with this much widespread damage. He believes the estimate is that 80% of the land across this county has burned, and he's also guessing that 5,000 head of cattle have died in this fire. Tomorrow, they plan to set up an ag supply drive where you can bring hay, cattle feed, fence material. And he was already getting emotional when we talked to him earlier, just thinking about this outpouring of support that they've already seen and more donations that are likely to come in.
Well, to the people that are thinking of bringing supplies, we want to thank them first for their thoughtfulness. This area has paid it forward for a long time. There's good people here that love others, and frankly, God knows what's ahead, and He prepares people for such a time as this.
Set up at Canadian ISD at the middle school here. We spoke with the superintendent, and he says people have been bringing diapers, clothing, food items, non-perishable food items, just anything they can to help these families. We've also seen other acts of supports like churches coming together to feed these families who may be without power or without their home tonight. So along with all the devastation that we've seen, I mean, just driving in, you see the fields just all the way across, charred in black. Along with that devastation, we've seen people coming together through all of this, and that's what Holloway says. That's how Canadian is going to recover from this. So like Josh said, we'll be here and keep you updated with more that we learn about how this is affecting people and their lives. But for now, we'll send it back to you, Karen and Abner.
Thank you, Brittany and Josh. It's easy to get emotional, and as the grieving and recovery starts for some areas, the fire still continues in other areas to take homes and ruin situations.
And we will continue to have coverage throughout the evening for you, so stay with us.
Tonight, Governor Abbott is deploying additional state emergency response resources to help in this wildfire crisis.
The governor directed the Texas Division of Emergency Management to increase its readiness level to an escalated response. Now, he also announced FEMA approval for a fire management assistance grant request for the Smokehouse Creek and Windy Deuce fires, meaning Texas will be eligible for at least 75% reimbursement from the federal government for costs associated with fighting the fires.
A wind shift overnight brought much of that smoke, as you know, from the Panhandle down to Lubbock and our surrounding areas. And it was certainly visible across Lubbock. Even last night when we got off the news, you could smell it. And many people reported smelling it even inside their homes.
KCBD News Channel 11's Natalie Falkenberry joins us in the studio now with a look at our air quality and the health concerns that come with all this smoke from the Panhandle.
Well, Karen and Abner, Lubbock's air quality is looking much better today compared to what we saw last night. However, medical professionals say the smoke coming from those wildfires can be a health concern, especially to vulnerable groups.
Just stay indoors as much as you can, and then close the doors and windows.
Dr. Fiona Prabhu, a professor in the family medicine department at Texas Tech Health Sciences Center, says although you can't see smoke particles in the air with the naked eye, prolonged exposure can be unhealthy for the immune compromised.
If you have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or asthma, that can definitely cause a flare-up of either of those conditions because of the smoke and particulate matter that you inhale.
Dr. Prabhu tells us small children, even those that don't have pre-existing conditions, are the most at risk.
Airways are smaller, their lungs are smaller, if they've already started getting reactive airways or asthma, then they're more likely to feel the effects of the smoke inhalation.
Prabhu recommends staying indoors and circulating or purifying existing air throughout your home, but not everyone has that luxury.
I would recommend actually wearing a mask, just like we did with the pandemic, just to try and make sure your nose and mouth is covered, so that you're getting a little bit less of the smoke particles in your nose.
After all those tips, if your symptoms worsen, Dr. Prabhu says that's when you need to see a doctor.
If you're very short of breath, you can't catch your breath, you are very concerned that, or you're starting to develop like fever, chills, anything that's more like an infection. If you're feeling like you're wheezing, then I think that's more when you need to seek medical attention.
We have been monitoring Lubbock's air quality throughout the day, and we'll continue to update you as conditions of those wind patterns shift. There will also be a link to this map on our website. Karen and Abner.
Thank you, Natalie. That wind shift not only brought smoke to Lubbock, but it also brought colder temperatures.
John says there's a chance those colder temperatures could also lead to wintry weather overnight. He joins us with the first check of the forecast. John?
Tell you what, Karen and Abner, as you know, that front rolled through during our newscast last night around 10 o'clock, and that's what brought the dust and the colder temperatures along with it and the smoke, unfortunately. Currently, smoke levels are better, as Natalie's reporting there, around Lubbock all the way over to about Clovis, New Mexico, a little more dense to the south. Very heavy, as you'd expect, in the northeast, but the positive fact is we're going to see these winds now shifting south-southeast, gradually becoming more southerly tomorrow and increasing in speed. That's going to dissipate the smoke, hopefully push it out of our region and help it to dissipate generally here. Not much help up in the Panhandle. We're looking at 43 right now. Southeast wind at 9 this evening. The clouds will hang around. Look for more clouds and a possibility, Karen and Abner, or maybe some rain and snow mix tomorrow morning and another chilly day.
Thank you, John. We have an update tonight in our ongoing warning signs investigation. The man accused of taking thousands of dollars from a Lubbock church is out of jail. The Lubbock County Sheriff's Office confirms 49-year-old Jared Castillo bonded out of jail on Sunday. Castillo is accused of charging St. Luke's Church $10,000 for an LED sign that he never delivered. And tonight we've learned of another complaint against Castillo and his sign company.
I mean, how many more people is he going to steal money from? In a church? I mean, that is the lowest of low, I think.
Sarisa Smith owns Texas Rock and Flagstone here in Lubbock. Unlike St. Luke's Church, Smith says Castillo did deliver a sign, but it didn't work. She is the fifth person to speak with our KCBD Investigates team about issues with Castillo and his company. We will continue to investigate warning signs. That's coming up tonight at 10.
Tonight, Lubbock Mayor Trey Payne says the city continues to boast a healthy, thriving community. Payne gave his final State of the City address as mayor today. He announced last year that he would not seek re-election in May. During the speech, Payne highlighted Lubbock's 2023 economic data and new developments across the city as it continues to grow. The mayor particularly highlighted a 10% bump in retail sales from 2022 to 2023 and the expansions stemming from the $200 million road bond passed in 22.
The thing about Lubbock is we are extremely strong economically, but we're also very resilient. And we're a very diverse economy. We have areas in education, in agriculture, in food, and fiber. We have all areas, and so it really keeps us strong because we're a very diverse economy. And so when things maybe look a little bleaker in other parts of the country and the world, we're really strong and resilient in Lubbock.
It's tradition that a portion of the proceeds from the event each year go to a Lubbock area charity. This year, Mayor Payne chose High Point Village.
The TAPS 2A state semifinals are underway in Waco tonight. A look at the first games for area teams. That's coming up in sports.
But first, another look at the potential for wintry weather after yesterday's hot temperatures. Your complete First Alert forecast is next on KCBD News Channel 11 at 6.
This is the First Alert Forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Robinson.
It's been a chilly day over the South Plains. A lot of clouds. Obviously, the smoke is still an issue, but hopefully that'll be thinning out tomorrow. But I'm still looking for cold temperatures tomorrow, only around 50 degrees. Hopefully for some sunshine to move into our region, though, late afternoon. And then we're going to jump back into the 70s, maybe 80 on Saturday. Going to be upper 70s Sunday. Dipping a little bit Monday and Tuesday. There'll be some wind back in the area, by the way, Sunday and Monday, maybe into Tuesday. Another system cooling us down just a little bit. May even be another chance of rain coming up on Wednesday, and we have that slight chance of a rain-snow mix tomorrow morning, and you're going to see the best potential is going to be in our northwestern areas for any accumulations, and if it does, we're talking about trace to maybe an inch, and I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a brief mixture of snow here, grassy areas, but we're not talking about anything in the way of significant amounts of snow for us. It'll be dependent on really the track, and you see how spotty it is in the central South Plains. More of a mix for us for sure, although temperatures will be below freezing northwestern areas and in Lubbock around 30 degrees or so. If we get one of these little heavier bands, might get some accumulation on grassy areas or even the roadways get a little bit wet. We hope there's some measurable moisture out of it, but generally not much down south. Most of it will be north and northwest unless the model changes the track and the storm track changes. In general, a mixture here, scattered showers off of the Caprock, and this is through mid-morning Thursday. Most of it will be out here by noon. But it does look like, depending on the speed of that system, the clouds will hang around at least till 4 o'clock. Few clouds out west. As you saw a few minutes ago, wind pattern will improve. We'll see them gradually turning east-southeast tonight, more so out of the south, picking up tomorrow, dissipating that smoke, and then we get more of a west and southwesterly flow Friday, warming us up. In the morning, 29 Littlefield, about 30-31 level land in Lubbock, 33 in Seminole, the same in Snyder, off of the Caprock near the freezing mark. Highs tomorrow. Not a lot of change. Your warmer temperatures will be where the sunshine comes out earlier. That's going to be southeastern New Mexico, Brownfield, down in Seminole. So for us, cold temperatures in the morning, maybe a little moisture. I don't think there'll be any kind of travel problems here. But in the northwestern areas, Bailey County, Lamb County, Littlefield, Muleshoe, folks there should be kind of cautious on bridges, overpasses. But we're back to spring after that, Karen and Abner. Unfortunately, there'll be a break in weather.
So again, what are chances for moisture in the Panhandle?
That area, a little bit better. Maybe I'd put it at about 50% or so, but the system's moving rapidly fast, so it'd be like quick, and then it's going to be gone. But it would help clear the air, definitely.
Yeah. They sure do need it up
Whatever
there.
they can get would help.
Thank you, John. The Trinity Christian Running Lions are headed to Waco to defend their state title.
And the Lady Raider basketball team is looking to get back into the win column in Fort Worth. Sports is next.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome into KCBD Sports. I'm Berkeley Adams. The Lady Raider basketball team is about to tip off against TCU at 6:30. Tech is 16-13 overall and 5-11 in Big 12 play. TCU is 18-9 overall, but they are also 5-11 in Big 12 play. We'll have highlights tonight at 10. Well, the LSU women's basketball team is preparing to host West Texas A&M Thursday at 5:30 tomorrow night. It is senior night, and they are looking forward to the big game. Now, the Trinity Christian Running Lions, number 2, they are headed back to defend their state title. They will face number 3 Grace Prep Arlington Friday at 10 a.m. in Waco. Well, now for those highlights, number 2 Lubbock Christian taking on number 4 TK Bishop Gorman. Eagles down as much as 11 in the fourth, clawing back from Parsons 3. It is now a 1-point game. Then Farnsley again, this time backing down the defender, gets the floater to go. Eagles led by 3. They went on an 18-0 run. The turnover, Micah Strand finishes the basket with the foul. Number 2 Lubbock Christian is back in the state title game, looking to defend their title as they win 58-47.
At the end of that third quarter, and I just kind of challenged those seniors. I just said, you got 8 minutes. You got 8 minutes and your career's going to be over. And you can see in their eyes, like, we're not going to let that happen. We're blessed to have the boys that we do, the fight that we do, the program that we do, and be able to come out on top. I'm so proud. Just one more day of relationships with these boys that I get to spend and memories we get to make for a lifetime. I'm excited for that.
Number 2, Southcrest Christian taking on number 4, Red Oak Ovia in the TAPS 2A state semifinals. Lady Warriors down 5. 3 ball from Victoria Berger all night long to put Southcrest on the board. Lady Warriors off on the 3, but the rebound and the putback from Peyton Berger. The Bergers getting it done, and they're loving it. Southcrest with the lead. Jordan Curry with her Steph Curry impersonation with the 3. The Lady Warriors are still fighting as they win 49-41.
Well, for me, it means a lot of things because I want it so badly for the girls. They've practiced hard. They've played hard. They're a true little family. And so for me, really, it's all about them and really all about this opportunity that the Lord's given us and given them. And so I'm excited to see them come out here tomorrow and play for each other and play for the Lord.
Hey, we'll have more tonight at 10. That's it for sports. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I do want to start with our fire tracker. I don't anticipate any fire issues tonight or tomorrow. Potential is very low, but by Friday, we do have, again, an increasing chance of fire danger from the South Plains into the Panhandle. As far as temperatures, though, staying cold tomorrow, a little rain and snow possible tomorrow morning, maybe some light accumulations in the northwest or grassy areas generally. Otherwise, we've got summer temperatures coming up Friday through Sunday.
Thank you, John, and thank you for joining us. We will bring you more coverage from the Panhandle wildfires tonight at 10. We'll see you then.